My name is Sar, and this is the next part of our linear regression video. So, in this, I will explain what really is y is equal to mx plus c or y is equal to wx plus b. So many people confuse between those two. So there is nothing to confuse. Those both are same. Just the naming concepts are different. So this is the mathematical model or the mathematical equation. So it shows us like how exactly the line are plot on line plot on the graph. So in previous video, I explained you about this code and we generated these two graphs. The first graph was the only plotting or the visualization of our data set. Then the second graph was the actual regression line. So this regression line basically follows that y is equal to mx plus c equation that I showed you earlier, like this y is equal to mx plus c. So here, this what is this equation then? So this equation is nothing but it's this y is your prediction, and m instead of m we will use here b. So b is bias or your y-intercept, like so y-intercept. Then w is your weight, just like your m, and x is your feature value. So we will calculate B and W from training, and then we will predict Y from these three values. Cos X will be your given, then we will predict these two in training, and then we will finally predict our Y or our label data using these three. So for this, we used a basic concept to calculate this bias and weight. We will use a basic concept named gradient descent. Like I can show you some glimpse of that and I will explain this in future videos. So it's nothing I will overview. So first we will calculate loss using weight and bias. We will use a random weight and bias. Then we will calculate loss. Then by calculating loss, we will shift our weight and bias a little. Then repeating this process at certain point we can't shift our weight and bias more cause the loss is at its minimum. Means after shifting weight and bias, the loss will not be minimized. So the weight and bias will be fixed. Then from that weight and bias, we will predict our feature value. Sorry, we will predict our prediction value. Prediction value means y or means our label value. This is how it's all done. Then after that, in code, I'm using that same concept y is equal to mx plus c, where m is your slope and model coefficient. M is slope or model coefficient. Then c is your intercept. As I told you already, that c is your intercept on y-axis. So here, by predicting that, you can see the slope is 2 and the intercept is 0. Why the intercept is 0? You may ask. So the basic definition of intercept is intercept or bias is it intersects y-axis. So here you can see it doesn't even intersect the y-axis a bit. So that's why the intercept is 0 and the slope is 2. And here I am using an value. Means now this all data is our training data. Means now I'm testing my model using some test data. Means using some new data. So here we have our M, we have our C. M means our slope and the C means our intercept. just like bias and weight. Then I am using a new values. So for this example, let's consider new x is equals x. Then what will be the value of y? For that 6. The prediction, we will use the prediction model predict new x the value is 6 given. So we will predict that value of 6 for y. So here our model predicted that the prediction for say x is equal to 6 is y is equal to 12. If we changed our value, like instead of 6, let's keep it 9. Then change from here as well. Then after running that, we can see for 9 it's 18. Means we can see that the correlation between those two entities is positive correlation and the linear regression is showing positively data. Means for increasing in x, the y will increase and it's not mandatory that it will double. It will increase, but it may vary. Depends on our data. Depends on our test data. Because here the test data was simple linear regression. Means if x will increase 1, then y will increase by 2. So it's here the trend data was really easy or really simple. But in actual scenario, the trend data is not that simple. It may have some skewed values or it may have some spread. So we can trend the data using those entities as well. So this is it for today and this is it for this video. See you next time. Bye. Thank you.